Hey, how's it going? Well,
Oh, it's going good. How are you doing, Figsy?
yeah, really good thing. Thanks for asking.
I'm usually I start drinking with the podcast. Today I started drinking before the podcast, and now the podcast is running an hour late. So, cheers.
So just on that, we're learning our daylight saving times around the world, guys. So apologies if you're tuning in a little bit late, but we've got the show started nevertheless, and you can watch the entire thing replayed live on YouTube, Spotify, and we're on iTunes as now as well.
I need that iTunes link, just to spread it out there. But yeah, it's cool. iTunes, yeah. We get the. Are you an iTunes? Are you a? Did I ask you last week? Are you an Apple guy or are you an Android guy?
Like I've got an iPhone, but
You're an Apple guy. No, it's it. No,
like
no,
these days I
no,
use a
no,
PC.
no, no, no. You're done. You're an Apple guy.
But I used to be full Apple guy. I used to have a MacBook, everything. But today I'm Windows. I don't use iTunes anymore, but I still have an iPhone. So
Yeah, you're an Apple guy. There's nothing wrong with that. But
Let's
who do we have?
go, episode 18. How exciting!
Yeah, this thing is. I last week I said we're slowly going off the rails, and a couple of people messaged me. Don't quit. No, don't stop now. You can't hang it up. I'm only kidding when I say we're can. No, but yeah, I don't see us going past episode 20, to be honest.
He's kidding. We've got plans on 100 plus episodes. That's for sure.
Jesus, oh my God. All right, so Figsy, tell us who do we have on this evening? This is one of your
So
people.
today we have Mr. Nicolo Rossi from Italy. He is one of the admins of the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 collectors group. He's been on the YouTube channel before, so please welcome back Nicolo. Hey Nicolo, how's
Hi,
it going?
Hi everyone.
What's
Thanks for having
what,
me. How's it going?
what's up, Nico? Welcome aboard. How you doing?
Oh, good.
Good,
I
good, good.
thought when you messaged me, I thought I was super late. Like, how did I miss my my alarm? And then okay, no, I'm in
Yeah,
time. But just a little misunderstanding.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that was
yeah.
on us. We looked up the time and went, oh, it's only 7 a.m. in Europe, not 8 a.m. But we're like, yeah, it starts at 8 a.m.
Yeah, I got a couple of friends coming on from England, and I haven't told them yet that I told them at the show they're going to be coming on at 8, but they'll soon learn that yeah, you got to get up at 6 in the morning. So, he's, sorry guys,
Maybe not.
it is what it is. Tez
even
the
though
boys,
even though if it's morning, it looks like from my perspective that it's evening, but there's a thick fog, so it's like Silent Hill out there. So good morning too, I would say. Okay.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nicolo, and your collection. I love the backdrop you've got behind you. It's awesome.
I've just moved everything around so that I could picture them, picture that behind me. Yeah, I'm from Italy, and I'm collecting. I've been collecting for since I think 2017. At least seriously, I've always kind of collected. I was one of those guys that he kept every game that just evolved because whatever. I just sold a bunch of games just to get PS3 at the time and a bunch of PS3 games to get the PS4. But then I started just buy more and more everything I could because PS3 games at least were cheap, were very cheap since the PS4 wasn't was backward compatible. So
yeah,
I started to get a lot of those sought after games pretty early, like Alice Madness, Azura's Wrath, and everything, because I just generally wanted to play them. And I remember in 2017 getting to a trip in Singapore and finding a game shop, and I was like, okay, let's see what I can find. I was also reselling a lot to finance my collection since I wasn't working yet, and I just stumbled across a copy of Ecochrome 2, and I say, okay, I know the game, but I didn't know that there was a physical copy. I couldn't find anything on the internet at the moment. I just took it for a couple of dollars, and I got back. And I remember when I got back, saying, okay, let's see what I got. I got a bunch of crappy games for like 50 cents and a bunch of weird, really poor choices, like Chinese Atelier Shelly that I thought it was a good find. It was a shitty find indeed. And I remember looking up on the internet and couldn't find any info about that Ecochrome 2. Not even just maybe a picture of the physical copy, and just that's it. And I was like, okay, what did I just get? And I looked on Facebook to get many more info about that, and I just joined. I think at first the English group, the PSCG, where I posted the pic, and you fix under the name of John Brown, Jimmy, and I can't remember who, probably Kevin, just shit themselves. And how did you get that? Where did you get that? It's up for sale, something like that. And then you probably asked me to join the PS3 collector group, and then I
It used to be
entered the madhouse, and yeah, that's kind of the result. At the time, I had something like 150 games, just got to 1,000 last day, so a couple of days ago. So
Congrats, man.
thanks for making me spend every single penny out, something like that.
So 1,000 PS3 and PS4 and
yeah, no, it's all, yeah, total for the collection. There's also a bunch of PS2 and PS1 games out there, and then just the ones I had when I was a child.
Nico,
never got to that. Yeah.
When you're hunting, where do you usually go? You go to local shops? Is it eBay? Is it just dickheads on Facebook?
Yeah. It really changed during the years, to be honest. During the, let's say, early days of collecting, I was hunting mostly on a local version of, let's say, Craigslist that is called subito.it, and that's the usual locals selling posts of random things by random people. Then I got to GameStop because they started to try to get rid of all the stash of PS3 new and used. So they constantly lower the price, constantly making promotions like buy two, get one free and something like that. And that's it more or less for the PS3. For the PS4, it kind of changed because, of course, they're still more expensive in shops. And there's also a lot of things that never came to Italy. Even though there's Italian on the back, maybe it's multi-language, it never came to Italy. So I constantly have to import from other countries. And now the best valuable source is an app called Vinted. It's kind of a middle point between, again, a Craigslist and an eBay. So it's that weird thing, but it's super cheap for the shipping. So that this is the main source right now.
Cool. Is that it's an Italy only app?
No, I think it's a whole European app. I looked on the internet and discovered that it's something like a Lithuanian app or Letonian app, something like that, and it's spread all over the Europe. Now it's I think in all Europe, but the app is divided into, let's say, zones. So if you're using it in Italy, you can buy from Italy, France, Spain, Belgium, and all Netherlands for some reason, but not Germany. Or at least I can't find shit in Germany.
No.
That's interesting. I have heard other collectors talk. It's Vinted, you said.
Yeah.
I have heard European collectors talk about it and ask if I sell on there because I do eBay, but I hadn't heard of it before.
Yeah, it's really let's say useful because the buyer pays the fees, not like on eBay that the seller pays the fees, and the fees are super low. It's like 70 cents plus 5% of the price of the object. Shippings are they have they manage all the shippings, so it's also very very easy because the buyer just chooses a courier and a pickup / drop off point where to drop the item near his house, and the seller just receives the invoice. He just gotta print the invoice, put it on the box, and just drop off somewhere. So it's super super easy, so that even stupid people can do this. They still fucked up sometimes because I've received the fun part is not having people asking how to ship a parcel, because I had these conversations before when I used to buy on the, so I don't know, Facebook Marketplace or the Craigslist kind of thing.
Oh man, that's the worst.
Like, yeah, I'd love to, but how can I ship a game? Just put the game
Dude.
in an envelope, go to a fucking postal service, and just ship it. But how can you pay me or something like that? And so they have got rid of all these really embarrassing conversations.
I've Mercari. I can't tell you. I try to avoid first time new sellers, because you got a rating on Mercari. It tells you how much they've bought, or how often they've bought, or how many transactions they've had. And you get these people and they got zero, and it's like, oh my god, here we go. But the price is right. One guy's like, well, hey, can't you just meet me at the Circle K on the corner? Or, I was like, dude, you got to ship the shit to me. Oh man, forget it. Because sometimes it's just not worth it. But sometimes when the price is right and the game is also rarish, yeah, you got to go for it. But it usually doesn't work out when dealing with first time buyers. But no, that sounds good. The buyer pays all the fees. Let's go. Man, we don't have anything like that over here. Yeah.
Just to add on that, though, I guarantee you there'll be a lot of people even tuning into today's podcast that wouldn't have ever shipped a game in the mail before. Like I know a lot of collectors out there that have never sold a game before. They've never sent anything in the mail. And like I speak to them about it, and it's like a daunting process. I don't know why that is, but it's easy, guys. Get to the post office. They'll even if you could just walk up to the counter with the game, they'll show you what bag to buy and what to write.
Yeah, I had to get used to it, since all the people ask me for those damn SingStar games. I had to be an expert then, because, okay, can you send me this to South Africa, please? Or something like that. Okay.
I've shipped to England, and it's just like once before, but never South Africa. I mean, a lot of these groups on Facebook, the PlayStation 3 collectors modding, blah blah blah. A lot of Africans on there looking for games, and it's just the shipping is just cost prohibitive. It's like, they want a $10 game, but it's going to cost $50 to ship. It's just like, have you ever shipped to Africa, Figsy?
So I'm actually doing a trade right now with a collector in South Africa, Jan. So good day, Jan, if you're watching. But unfortunately, South Africa's post office are having a strike. So none of the post offices are even open. So we've had to do it via like a courier service, where I send it to a certain warehouse in Australia that have a service that actually go to South Africa. But Jan actually received his package this week. So it does work. You can get games in Africa. I think he said it was like $70 from the warehouse service after I posted it, and it would have cost me like $20 to get it there. So you're looking a little bit more than like posting to the UK or posting to America, but it's definitely possible to do.
Do you sell on eBay, Nico?
From time to time. I just stopped right now, because I just sell on Vinted is way more comfortable and way more, even easier at this point, because most of the people is on there, not on eBay anymore. But the fact that this app is getting more and more popular is also because in Italy, shippings are super expensive. Like to ship for domestic shipping in the other countries, like maybe $2 to €2, £2 to dollars. I don't know, something like that. Here, the cheapest option is €5 for a domestic one. So
you're saying euro, so I can ship a game for $2.20 Australian. So that's
exactly.
like a dollar,
exactly.
€1.50 or something, which is
exactly
cheap.
Here, the cheapest one is normally €5. So with the app, and you gotta post it with the Italian mail service. Said it's not exactly that quickly. Just to put it in perspective, I bought a game from the Middle East. Maybe we can talk about later. And it took 3 days to get to Italy, delivered 3 days. In the meantime, I bought a game on actually on eBay, and it was shipped from southern Italy to northern part of Italy where I stay, and it took 12 days, I think. Not exactly that, that, let's say that efficient, but it went really bad on that package, but that's more or less the average. I mean, if you pay for the standard one, it takes at least a week normally. And on this app, they use couriers, so it takes maybe 2 to 3 days max, and it costs like $3, 3 euros, and not 5. That's also one of the main reasons why this app is spreading all over Europe, because also international shippings are like 3 to 5 euros for an international shipping from Italy to Belgium or something like that.
Do you guys no import fees, or is that? Well, actually, you guys, the British guys got to deal with import fees, I guess.
Yeah, and yes, and we have to deal with import fees with everything in and out England, but inside of Europe there are no import fees, luckily. So we, as far as we're staying in Europe, we're good. When I tried to buy something outside of Europe, I'm starting to cry because the import fees are kind of prohibitive most of the time. It really depends on the couriers that handle it, because it's 22% of the price of the declared price of the package. That is the, let's say, national tax, and from 2 to 25 euros for the handling, and you don't know until you have it in hand, because if it's the Italian postal service that handle it, it's like 2 to 3 euros, but if it's a courier, it can go up to 25 euros. DHL can charge you up to 25 euros just for the handling, and you're like, okay, thanks that you got me a game in like 3 days from the other part of the world, but I would rather have it in a month and pay shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
And you haven't got a choice if it's going to come via a courier or the post office.
it really depends on I mean, if they do not choose something like DHL, UPS, or FedEx, that they handle the games themselves, it usually goes through the postal service. So let's say I'm good in most of the times, in most of the cases. But if someone tries to probably do me a favor with a super quick shipping, it does the opposite.
Yeah, I guess that's a big difference between here you collecting the U.S. and over there in Europe. And we don't have to deal with borders. I've sold to Canada. Never to anybody in Mexico. Canada's not so bad. I mean, the shipping's probably like 3 times what a regular game would just ship. Just a game by itself would be to here, but no, we don't usually have to deal with borders over here, which is nice. Even if it's Hawaii or Alaska, it's not that bad. But hey, Nico, I took the deep dive on your Instagram, and you enjoy beer?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. I go ahead.
I know where you're going at. No, go ahead.
Where am I going? No.
No, I probably know that.
Well, today I usually drink Budweiser beer, but today I bought this stuff called Amstel Light.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this beer?
Yeah, I had it a couple of times. That I don't really like it. It's that average lager or blonde beer. I can't remember which one it is.
It was on sale, so I bought it. But no, I've been struggling with the bottle caps. Are any beers in Europe, are they twist off?
No,
No.
no. They're actually just, you have to remove them. You can't twist that.
Yes, you had quite an impressive beer removal opening video on your channel. I highly recommend it. But I don't know, just an odd random thought that came to me.
I actually had another profile on Instagram with my girlfriend and a friend, and we used to try to open beers in the most random ways, like with everything we found. We went from the, I don't know. I've done it with a game. I've done it with a
The
clock.
game.
Yeah, with a game, with a FIFA 12. I just destroyed the case. I just completely fucked up the case because you had to force it, and I just ripped it. But I couldn't give a flying fuck. I got the game for like 1 cent out of GameStop because I just wanted a recipe with 1 cent written on it from GameStop, and I've done it with many times. We had to stop. For one thing was the COVID that it really stopped everything.
Everything.
But on the other side, I actually don't know what to use anymore. I mean, after like 100 videos, I've also used some heavy machinery like I can't even remember how to call it, the thing that digs underground, the heavy machinery that with that. I've done it with that.
No, I mean I've done the lighter where you wedge it between your finger and the
I've
bottle.
done
cap.
that. Like
Yeah.
It has burned that way because I remember being on holiday with my friends, and I'm like, "Do you have a lighter? No. Do you have a lighter? No. How can we open that?" And I can't remember who just took the big umbrella where we were on the beach, and like, okay, and yeah, he opened with that. Okay, now the challenge is on. It's more or less burned that way.
Yeah, so somebody needs to bring twist off bottle caps over to Europe because this it took me a good hour to find a bottle opener. I finally found one in a drawer somewhere, and but yeah, there you go. There's my bottle opener. Oh shit! I just spilled my beer.
There's a brand that has a strange cap, like the I would say like the tuna cups. The thing where you just put
Oh
your
yeah, yeah.
fingers inside and just pop it. That's a brand that has that. Tried to sell everything on this type of cap. Spoiler, they couldn't. So,
All right, you guys have to excuse me. I made a spill, and I also got to go pee. So I'll be right back. Whoever has 23 minutes in the pee pool, congratulations. I'll be back.
And they all took bets before we started, which was funny.
we have a new record.
I wanted to bring up, you mentioned Endochrome
Okay.
when we first started talking. So that's
Yes.
an interesting game because there's an English release of that that's cheap in Move Mind Benders. You can pick that up
Exactly.
for less than $10. But the
I have
Chinese
that
English
too, yes.
version, you're looking at like $200 plus.
Exactly. And at the time, I didn't know because I wasn't in the, let's say, in the hardcore collector scene, so I couldn't just understand what I was in. And to be honest, at the time, there was also in Singapore. I also left one of my biggest regrets, probably because 90% sure that I left Chinese English copy of Aquanauts Holiday for $20 because I remember being at the store and just browsing to the games. That my goal was to get some, let's say, Asian exclusive, or at least something that wasn't available in Europe. And I just stumbled across this game, and I was like, the fuck is it? It was more expensive than many others, at least I was looking at, and I went on eBay and just checked and made the rookie mistake of not understanding the difference between the Japanese one and this one. I mean, I'm still trying to tell me that I've done the right thing because that was the Japanese English one, the Chinese Japanese one, but I really doubt it because
I hope it was. Or
I
even
hope
just
to.
a regular
I really hope to,
Japanese
but
copy.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And I remember,
Being in
yeah,
Singapore, though, that's where all the Chinese English games are.
but at least I got that one.
Just on used games in Italy. So, what type of you mentioned the websites that you've got, but what type of game stores have you got over there?
We only have GameStop at this point. I mean, we also have a couple of other game stores chains, but they're really weak. most of the time you go there, there are just few games because less people goes in there to drop off the games, and the prices are usually higher. I mean, there's some people that found maybe good games or at least good deals in there, but in my area there's none, or at least probably one, and it's pretty bad. But the main source is often GameStop. There's also checks in Italy, and something that but they only have like 5 stores, 4 of which in just a single region of Italy, in the northern part of Italy, and one in Milan, just one. And of course, it does something like from 10 in the morning to 6 p.m., something like. I can never get to the store, and on the weekend it's often closed. So, but again, it has some good prices, but it's not on the level of a UK one. I mean, if you see the prices of a UK checks, it's like everything is 0.5 pounds probably, something like that. Here is way more expensive, but I remember when checks uh, opened the first stores and opened also the website. They have a deal with a local courier, so everything was shipping free. It doesn't depend on the big how the big order, how the order was, or how much you spent. The shipping was free, and I remember for a period at least going batshit crazy on them, because I mean I got some
That was going to be
sweet
my
deals.
next question. What about the
There's just one of my friends, one of my dearest friends, the one actually I started collecting with, um, is on Xbox 360 and mostly PS2. I remember him just buying everything they had for PS2 from 2 euros and under. He just bought like 300 games or something like that. I remember him calling me, and I think that the postman hates me, and just sent me a pic of his mailbox with like 4 big box like this piled.
The postman hates you. I just walked in.
No, not me. No, I was talking about one of my dearest friends. He's also a collector, and many years ago when checks opened in Italy, just a few stores had a deal with a courier. So if you buy on their website, everything was shipping free. And one of my friends said, "Okay, fuck it, I want to improve my PS2 collection." Got to the website and just bought everything from 2 euros and under, and there were like
Jesus.
300 games in one go. For like 150 euros or something like that. So it was indeed a sweet deal at the end of the day.
Oh, I've never, not even at garage sales have I come across those prices. Jesus, they were new.
No, it was they were used mixed conditions, I would say.
Yeah.
So somewhere like new, somewhere missing manuals, wrong disc, scratch disc, platinums. The usual mix.
We've got a saying over here. It's called the CEX gamble. You never know what you're going to get. Like sometimes you get a complete good condition game. Other times you get just a disc. So
I
You
remember.
guys,
Yeah.
you have
Go on.
CEX. I'm sorry, you have CEX in Australia. Has this come up before?
we do. We've got a few stores, but like I can only order online. I think they've got stores in Canberra, Sydney, and Brisbane, and that's it.
So more or less the same as here. So just a few stores scattered around the country, and you mostly buy
Yeah,
and sell on the website. Yeah.
do they also take trade-ins via the mail over there, Nicolo?
Sorry.
Can you trade in stuff via the mail?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's a really
They-
good policy over here. It's still free postage. They pay for the postage to do trade-ins, which is a good deal. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, how prevalent is GameStop in Italy? Because a lot
It's
of
the
the
main
European,
chain.
it's a
the
big
main
chain.
one. Yeah, it's the main one. You can barely find anything else. I mean, we have some other I think they're called Game Tech, Game Life, and Open Games or something like that. most of them are just few stores scattered around the country, but the ones that you find nearly anywhere is GameStop, and it's not going good because during the last 2 years, I think they closed up to 40 stores around Italy. So yeah, they're not going good.
Yeah, a
But
lot of
because everybody hates them. Everybody
yeah.
hates them.
I
I
was just
do
about
not, because like 50% of what you see behind me is from GameStop at this point. But
yeah, a lot of people shit on GameStop here in the US because they got a lot of crappy policies,
yeah,
but the fact of the matter is, once GameStop goes, if they ever if they ever go out of business, I mean that's it. There's no more national chains. It's just going to be Walmart and Best Buy and whatever other crappy. Well, no, I don't want to say crappy, but
Amazon.
mom
Yeah.
posh stores that are left, and those guys are usually a gouge. But yeah, GameStop. I used to be anti GameStop, but when you think about it, they're doing some good. They have their place, and I'm visiting them more often nowadays because the wild is dried up over here.
I mean, it really
As
depends
much as
on
we
how
hate
you approach them. That's the point. If you go for let's say the mainstream games, you usually get really crappy deals both in buying and selling. But if you go for niche titles or maybe some older stuff, they also have great prices. I mean, last summer I remember they just, I don't know why, got mad and just took like 300 games from the low tier, if you can call that way. So indies, something like not really, that
Yeah.
not do not really sold well, and just put them at like €2 each.
Oh
Like,
man.
yeah, fuck it. And when you do something like that, you just gotta raid all the games that you find in your area, because if you do not do that, someone
they're all
else
gone.
will. So they're gone. I mean, I'm not hoarding on those games to sell them, but there's many people who does that, because one of the plague, I would say, now in Italy are the professional sellers. After the COVID, many people started to dealing with games just to earn some money, and now there's a bunch of just those crappy sellers that say oh, I'm a professional seller. I have this website. Go check it, and they only have these kind of games they managed to get for a bunch of euros for like 10 times what they've paid, and everybody knows that, because I mean, GameStop couldn't sell them for like €10. How can you even think about selling them for like 30? And in fact, I used to also visit many Facebook groups before, because there was many people, many deals around that. But nowadays they're just filled with people selling, and nobody wants them. Nobody wants nothing of what they're selling, because it's all eBay prices. Everything is priced with eBay, and they do not even look at the sold listings probably.
Yeah.
Just
I'll tell you, because a lot of people they trying to get into the PS3 group, for example. Oh, I because one of the membership questions is, what's your favorite game? Just so I know you're not a bot. Oh, I don't have a favorite game. I'm just looking to sell my PS3 and the games. I'm looking to sell this lot, and it's usually moms and shit. I'm just like, no, get the fuck out of here. Do you get a lot of I don't know how active you are, Figsy, and
I'm not active anymore, but I used to be.
no, but do you guys get a lot of moms on there or people on there wanting to get in the group just to sell their bullshit? You just
we have few, but most of the time we just block them from the start, because if people doesn't answer the group's questions, we doesn't approve them.
yeah, there you go. You got the auto
So
ship.
by doing this, most of these people is just blocked from the entry, and the other ones are just blocked after. Yeah, there was to be there was a period, I think, during COVID, during 2020, where a lot of people tried to do this. And we also had a lot of people asking for, yeah, I just took out my console and it doesn't work. Why?
Oh yeah, god
How
damn
can
it.
I know? I remember my Italian group. I also manage a couple of Italian groups. The PS3 one is pretty big. We have 2,000 people, so it's the first one you find when you search for PS3 in Italian
Yeah.
groups. And we had like months and months of random people and entering the group and just asking, how can I make my console go again, work again?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
my disk drive doesn't work. What's wrong? Dude, no. Google it, fucker. Get on
Or
with
the
it.
other ones that are like, yeah, I just take back my console. What games do you suggest me? Like, hey,
Not
what do
when you
you
say
like?
Google it though, Will,
I don't
because
know.
Facebook searching is the modern Google it.
Well,
Yes, of course. There's people that, I mean, if you're trying to put an effort to write something on Facebook, why don't you write that on Google? I mean, it's quicker, it's easier even.
and you don't have to talk to fucking dickheads. You could just get an answer from a machine. No, yeah, it's in our group. What do you that one comes up? What's your top 3 games? What are your 5? What's your favorite games? What should I get? At least they're trying, Yeah, at least they're making an effort. It's better than moms trying to come on there and sell their fucking kids old shit or figure out how it works. I don't know. I'm torn, but
But many times those moms are the best source of deals out there because they either price that everything is $500 or everything is five. So I had a lot of sweet deals with this kind of sellers in the past. So,
thank you, Nico. Thank you, Nico. And moms and grandmas selling their kids and grandkids shit are the backbone of the wild, and they keep the deals out there. You're not gonna get you're not gonna get I don't know, a high dollar game in in a small stack from somebody, a reseller. You're getting them from moms and grandmas. So God
and
bless the
usually
wild,
it is
and
in the
God bless the
same,
grandmas.
exactly. It's in the same mix. I mean, when you see FIFA, Call of Duty, GTA,
Mm.
Rule of Rose, GTA, FIFA. What the
Don't use them. Don't know if they work. Never played Rule of Rose. That one was crap.
but sometimes what kills me is the mix. I mean, if I see a bunch of I don't know, JRPGs or at least niche titles, I can get it. But most of the time, you have some mainstream random titles and then an heavy hitter put in between for some reason that doesn't get anything with the others.
Yeah, but
But yeah,
it's in between those stacks of FIFA and Call of Duty and GTA's where you find you sometimes you find that gem, and that's what keeps me
exactly,
going back. That's what keeps me going back to the Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, but
exactly.
you gotta hunt in the wild because you can't find that shit at game stores. You can only find it in the wild. Look at you, Figsy. Okay, anyway, I'll stop.
On those different type of games, Nicolo, you have a very unique collection where you have a lot of, I would say, obscure and unique titles. And I've actually got a photo of a couple of games that you've got in your collection that I'd love to talk about if you don't mind.
Of course.
In particular, one that we mentioned a little bit earlier in the show,
God
and that is
damn it.
this one here. So tell us about this game right here.
Jesus Christ.
This is actually my the games I choose for my 1,000
This is
milestone. Yes, so it wasn't planned actually. I was trying to find a game to let's say celebrate the milestone, and I remember one night receiving the notification of James Johnson posting a pic on a group saying, "But is this legit?" or something like that with a photo of this game. I was, it can't be. And
that's what I said too.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
I've made some researches. I find the game and it's barely working. If you can try to look up on YouTube, it's it's a shame. I can't say anything else. It's barely a game. And I say no, it can't have a retail even in there in those countries. And I'm like, and it's true. I mean, I've asked also Niels, PS Commander, and he's like, yeah, that shit's legit.
Oh my
So
god.
I've just pushed my luck and tried to contact a couple people. One of those, I had one in his collection, and I can sell it, and he sold me
How,
his copy, and
are you
and
gonna
we're
would
here.
would you dare tell us how much you paid for it?
Too
Oh,
much.
yeah. Okay, you're not gonna say.
I mean,
Who's the
way, way,
publisher on that?
way, way under the eBay prices because this on eBay is priced like $300, something like. And
Jesus.
there's a shop that apparently got most of the stock of this game and is selling one by one. If you go to the eBay sold listings, he sold them between $200 and $400 apparently. I can say that I got for way, way, way less than $200, way less. But for the shit show that it is, I paid way too much for what it is. But I really want it because it's, as you said, I really love strange stuff. I mean, I don't know why strange, unique, obscure stuff. Let's say something interesting stuff. So I go for this kind of shit. I usually buy things that I want to play. At least now, I'm just buying. I sold a lot of games during the latest years because I in the let's say early days, I just tried to get every collectible game out there, at least for PS3. That led me to get a bunch of games I wasn't really interested in, so I've sold them. Now for PS4, since you can't really guess what will be collectible because okay, on PS3 you say okay, this is kind of weird. This is let's say minor title, double A title. It could be sought after in the future because maybe the print run is not that big. But on PS4 you can just do this because everything like half of the title can be collectible in the future. So I just try to stick with the things I want to play. For some little exceptions like this crap you just brought up. I just want it because
Who
I really
who's the
find it interesting.
who's the publisher on that? I
The
can't see it on
publisher
the
is
screen.
like Rollritz Games, something like that. Can't really
I've
remember.
never heard of
Is this the only game?
No, they've done I think a couple. I've made some researches on them too, and they probably made a couple, and the other one is even worse. So,
Well, shit, I gotta go find that game.
I
You brought up an
remember,
interesting point,
yeah,
Nicolo, about how PS4 games have such low releases. But if we look at the PS3, apart from Class of Heroes 2G, I can't name one game that has less than 10,000 copies, which is
I
crazy to
think
think of today's generation.
there's one, and it's Fritz Chess. I think that got a really, really, really low print run because it's a niche title.
You're talking about the
I don't
German
know.
Yeah,
chess game?
possibly.
Sorry.
The German chess game? Isn't
Yes.
it a German
Yes,
exclusive?
the one with the no, it's not German exclusive. It's the one with the white cover and the
Yeah,
chess
it's just a
pieces.
European exclusive, that one.
It's a European exclusive, yeah. And I know for sure that it has an UK, France, Italy, and German release at least. I can speak for Spain, but
It was sold in Australia, but we got a UK copy with a sticker on it.
There's one of those in my local shop, believe it or not, the chess game for $60. Is
I was
it
going to say it's an expensive game.
is $60 worth it? Should I go grab it or should I just say fuck off?
I wouldn't say it's worth $6.
No,
I mean,
no.
it's a niche title. It's probably gonna be hard to find, but I can see that as an expensive title down the line. I mean,
All right, well, I'll leave it. I'll leave it in the store then.
I'd pay 30 for it.
I paid €1
Oh,
in a GameStop. It was sitting on a side shelf, and I was like, "What's that? No, it's a crappy game. Okay, I want it."
You don't want this.
oh my god, that kills me.
Oh my god, that's my kind of thing. I want it.
The PS4 color. I don't know. You said PS3 10,000. You can't think of any games other than 10,000 or less of that 2G. But is it because Sony has lowered their standards? Is Sony said just letting every dickhead in who's got a couple thousand bucks print some
I find it a
bullshit?
little bit controversial. Like, there's possibly games on the
Probably.
PS3 that have 1,000 copies, but games weren't sold with that as a selling point. Like, no one knows how many copies of Fritz Chess there are out there because there's not a number. But like today, the selling point is there's only 1,000 copies. You need to buy this because it's rare. That's the selling point behind limited run games, strictly limited games, etc. So it's possible that there are very low print runs on the PS3, but we're just not aware of it because they won't market it as a low print game. Everything was sold to sell as many copies as they want. I'm sure the guys that made Fritz Chess wanted to sell 1,000,000 copies, but that wasn't going to happen, you know.
Little trivia: do you know who are the developers from Fritz Chess? It's Freedom Factory. It are the same guys behind Kick-Ass 2 and Bloodbath, so you can see why it's a shit game.
What are the name? I'm sorry. What were those games again?
Kick-Ass 2 and Bloodbath. Bloodbath is another. I don't know if you know that. It's another European exclusive. It's a gladiator game, but it's terrible. It's like from 2014, something like that.
It's a must-have for collectors.
Yeah,
Excuse me for a second.
Must have. You can put it out.
You got the when we did that rare and collectible rare and collectible PS4 video with Figsy. It seems that a lot of the games people were showing were just straight up trash, and
yes, probably.
And it's weird how the trash is the most collectible shit on the PS4, and it's I don't know. I there rarely do the low print run and a good game ever intersect, and or a collectible game that's good. It's usually just a weirdo fucking title. I don't know. I'm still waiting for that Santa's Christmas Adventure to go through the roof, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna
I was
happen.
going to say, unless it's an Atlas game, because they bring out good games that have low print runs.
Yeah, my God, it is what it is.
But if you think about it, it's more or less been that way since always. Because if you go for on PS2 and PS1, some of the most expensive are Phoenix games. They're just straight up shit. And I think also on NIS and other games, there are some really expensive good games, but many others are shit. And that's why, and probably it's because nobody bought them at the time. So many got lost, many got even destroyed because if the GameStop policy or the game store policy is the same, so if you can't sell it, most of the time you just return them to the central distribution center, and they probably got destroyed.
Do you have Snow White and the Seven Naughty Boys?
Unfortunately not, but I have the what was that? The Dracula's Legacy. That is a PS4 game that I got because it's a German exclusive. It's super rare, but it has a cover that really reminds you of Phoenix games. Yeah, that one. look at that. It's nightmare. Try to guess the game type. What type of game it is? Is
no,
it?
James Johnson spoiled this the other day on his video. So yeah, isn't it like a trivia game?
It's one of those old style point and click adventure with the drone background. You need to click on things, collect things, and then try to interact or combine the stuff you get and go on the story. But it's with just this tactic image
on PS4.
and PS4, yeah. That's the point of not knowing probably what gonna be rare and collectible on PS4, because now the market is flooded with bad games, indie games, and that's probably even because there's a lower print run, in my opinion, because still PS3 only publisher, at least game publisher, game companies with at least some people in there could could publish games or used to publish games. The
The
indie
one thing
world
we
was just at the beginning, so it was digital only. On PS4 now, probably anyone, even if we put some money together and develop a stupid game, we could publish it on a physical form now. At
We've
least
been
you gotta print at least 1,000 games, but you
we,
can publish anything.
we've been talking about that. I don't know, man. There's you guys want to kick in? If any of you guys want to kick in money and make a game, I'm there. I got 20 on it, like I said last week. So $20. $20. We get about I don't know, 100 people. How much money is it? I can't do math. $2,000? No.
You'd have to check with Dusty Games on the price.
But no, yeah.
Just on that, with the PS4, the one thing that it won't have for it that other systems in the past have got is full set collectors. Are the reason why a lot of games are expensive. Now, the PS4 will not have many full set collectors at all because it's.
I can think only at one at the moment.
I can think of one. We all know one. But
Yeah.
well, I can name 50 people who are going for or have a full PS3 set, and because of that, they realize that certain games are rare, and that suddenly people want to buy these games, and that drives the price up. But I don't see this happening for the PS4 because the library is just so big.
Yes.
Games
I
will
mean,
get missed.
I'm seeing this happening at least in the future for good games, for good niche games. We all brought a lot of crappy ones because nowadays, I mean, I've looked in my collection and say, okay, these are the ones you can't find on eBay or that are the more expensive. No, I just thought the ones that I can't find on eBay and just put it out. And it was the Gin Rain, it was the Nightfall, and the other one from Amazon. And but I see becoming expensive some niche games, some good stuff like Blue Fire or some other good games that haven't received many copies or even many attentions. So I hope at least, because it can't always be the worst stuff.
I think it'll be different. I think like it'll come down to people making like hidden gem videos to make people aware of these games. But I feel like a lot of games on the PS4 are just going to be overlooked because there's so many like indie titles out there. I would go out on a limb and say there's at least 1,000 indie titles physically on the PS4, which is crazy.
Probably even more.
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
even more. I think what was I mean, talking with Niels, he told me like the full stat, considering all the variants, all the GOTYs and whatever, it's like 3,000 games. It's going on and on and on. Yeah, and I don't even know if he was speaking also about limited runs and similar kind of games. If you probably not limited runs, how many has it on the catalog? Like 500 now.
I think they're up to 500 and something now, which for one system, 500 games. Like the Wii U hasn't even got 300 games. Like that's insane.
Now even Red Arctic is going batshit now lately with like 2 releases per month at least. So even Red Arctic, I think, is closing to 50 or 60 games just from them.
I'm sure.
And most of them are just mobile games ported to console because they're just straight up shit.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what it really pisses me off, because it's a French company, so I'm not paying customs on them. Shipping it's really cheap. It's like €5 to get them, and they just, out of 50 games, I just got like 4 of them because they were the best ones. One of which we'd never probably be shipped because I ordered it in on February, I think. Keep asking them, okay, but where is it? And they're like, we are having some issues with the publisher, but yeah, it's coming this summer. On the summer, where is the game? It's coming in fall. Okay, where's now? It's coming somewhere in next year. I don't know why.
Jesus.
And I'm pretty pissed off because it's a game I loved. I've played digitally, and I really loved it. A Procession to Calvary. I really suggest that to anyone. It's a game by a single developer and is made entirely by taking Renaissance. I can't remember how to tell it. It's I wouldn't say pictures, are the paintings, Renaissance paintings. It's entirely made by that, and it's super weird, like South Park weird, I would say. It's that kind of nonsense, like black humor and everything. It's point and click adventure. I loved it. So if you find it on sale, even digitally, try to give it a go because it's super fun.
I'll keep fucking eye.
You brought something up that I'd love to touch on, and something that I don't like with modern games is a lot of PS4 physical games are simply mobile games, and they've just been ported. And in particular, I wanted to talk about one publisher, and they do JRPGs. It's called Chemco RPGs. Now, they don't make their own RPGs. They go to iOS and Android companies, and they basically just publish anything that's an RPG. Phone games, they put it out on PS4. If you look at like the limited run library of RPGs, almost every single one is a Chemco RPG. It's a crap game. Like, these games shouldn't be $30 because they're $10 iOS games. And, people are paying $30. Sometimes they're even charging like $60 for these titles. And they're shit. They're not real games. They're just shit mobile games that, you shouldn't even be paying for.
You don't think highly of mobile games, do you, Figsy?
No, it's not that I don't think highly of them, but you can't tell me that a mobile game is worth the same as like the new God of War. There's a big difference in the quality of what you're getting. You shouldn't be paying similar prices.
Are these Chemco? I'm not familiar with these guys at all.
I watched a really good video. I'll actually link it in chat. So there's a guy on YouTube called Eric Landon. He's a really good JRPG YouTuber, in particular like PlayStation JRPGs. He's over in the UK. Knows his stuff. He did a rant video about Chemco RPGs, how they're not real RPGs. I'll post it in the chat now. It's worth watching.
I've never heard about them, so kind of interesting. But are they only
grab a couple out.
Limited runs or also retail?
Yeah, they have done other titles, but mainly limited runs. I'll grab one or two of them out just to show you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go to the shelf, bring it out, Figsy. We know you got one. Chemco. I'm not familiar with these guys at all.
No, never heard of them. Maybe now I just know the games, but didn't know the publisher.
I'm trying to think of games that I know for sure that were mobile games that have been brought over to.
No, there's a good one that is Cut Quest. Cut Quest used to be a mobile game, but it's a super nice game. I have a PS4 Cut Quest.
I'm not familiar.
I couldn't find any, but I'll look them up.
Wait, I'm just thinking it.
Find me this Quest game you're talking about. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
So I actually had the double
Cat Quest.
This is a
mobile game.
Good. Yeah, at least the first used to be a mobile game, but it's really good. I had a ton of fun with it, and by playing it on console, you can't even say it's a mobile game. So, but speaking of things that shouldn't be on PS4, I forgot about sending you this, but. Do you remember those
Chicken Range?
Do you remember those crappy Flash games that used to be available anywhere on the internet in the let's say mid to 2000s? The ones where you have just an iron sight that's shooting at GIFs most of the time. Yeah, that's it. That's
R.I.P. Flash games, by the way. So one of those games I was talking about would be like Relevant Saga. So they're games that aren't memorable because they shouldn't be full games. Someone in chat was talking about it as well. So Collect a Lot was saying, I agree with Figsy on Chemco. Those games, they all look the same. They're all like 8-bit titles. in Asia, there's physical versions with 4 games on one disc and limited runs, sell them for $30 a piece. Yeah, and that's another scam. Like they're selling literal NES titles, and then they're breaking the game down like part 1, part 2. Like it's a scam basically because they know their target audience is collectors who want all of them. So of course, if they make 10, they're going to buy all 10. Like
So I bet these are the ones with not the open pre-order, but just the limited printed quantity available for like 10 minutes. Okay, that's it.
I'm gonna start combing the Google, the Android store to find a game we can make, a mobile game we can make, the first the first collectors podcast ain't dead game, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
1,000 copies, guys. Get them while they're hot.
Yeah.
But don't worry, we just sell like 100, so that it gets really expensive, like Poop Slinger, and then we try to sell one by one the other ones. That's the game's fashion.
On whatnot, one at a time, auction format.
Exactly.
Why not, man? Shit, these fucking assholes are getting rich. Why don't the collectors fucking make a dime off this shit?
Because what's make me laugh is that when someone is paying like 5K or something like that, even if they are real legit for a Poop Slinger, because there's only 84 copies. Yes, but somewhere there's just a big box with the other 916. So
we know for a fact there has to be 1,000. There could even be more than 1,000. They could have paid 5,000 for all we know, but we know for a fact that there's 1,000.
Because I know that the companies can do let's say a sample run that are for example the ones from the unpublished one from Nicalis, so Spikes and 1,001 Spikes, there's a Bit Run and some other games
as well.
Yeah, Binding of Isaac on PS5, and they're just sample runs, but I think they could be 10. I think you can't go for many more copies than a 10 or a dozen at least. So
they'll have the barcodes punched out too, I believe.
They should. I think they should.
Which makes them distinguishable between the other copies.
Actually, I have one punch code game. It's the Racine. I got that on eBay, shipped from the US for like $10 because on auction because nobody wanted that. Yeah, it's punched hole. I don't want it. Okay, I'll take it.
I don't know how to feel about the promotional games. They're giving out as promotions, right? The ones that got the hole punch in the UPC code. I got a couple in my collection, and they're usually sealed games. It's like I don't know. Is it worth it? Is it not? Some people care, some people don't. I don't. I'm in the middle of the road. How many do you got in your collection, Pigs?
If I have any, I'm not aware of it because I try not to get them.
You avoid
like, as far as I'm aware, they're worth as much as a used copy of a game is worth, like on the lower side. When you get to high-end games, say Class of Heroes 2G, I know there's a lot of review copies out there of that. That sort of goes for like the lower end of what they go for, but they still sell it. It could just sit on eBay for another couple of months where, you get the collector who doesn't actually know what that means to buy it or something. But
Nico, do you avoid them or do you care or no?
I don't care, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, you'll take them anyway.
I'm a weird collector also for this reason, because I don't really care about if it's punch hole or not, or even if it's in my language or not, because something that you guys want to have only the NTCS versions or the Auspal version. I usually don't care. At least I can get the game cheap. I don't care. I mean, of course, if it's the same price, I'd go with the Italian version of the UK version. But if those are like the double of the price, I just don't care. As long as it's something that I want to play. Of course, if it's something for just the collection, it's not a thing. Like the Nightfall UK, I could have just got the German version for really easily, and I went above and beyond to get the UK one because I just want it for the collection because it's a
That
shitty game.
that leads me
I
to an
will
interesting
never play it.
Nikolai. So in France, for example, there's a lot of French collectors that will go for the full set, or Australia. You're saying you're involved in a lot of Italian Facebook groups. I know you don't do it, but are there any Italian collectors that will only go for Italian games?
Absolutely. I know people that goes as far as if there's not an Italian version of the game, I won't get it. I mean, even if it's a good game that they love, they just no, it's not Palita, it's not it has not Italian even on the back on a multi-language version. Okay, I'm not gonna get it, and it's something stupid for me, to be honest.
I used to be a very anti-PAL, and I can respect that. If you're going for just
But you
strictly
see, I mean,
Italian or Australian, you go for it,
okay,
man.
you
That's
you
you.
go for another region. That is something. And there's other people that only goes for PAL versions and don't want to have an NTSC version. And it's I don't know. I can get it probably, but you see, I think one of the biggest differences in markets here in Europe is that we have many countries, and at least the major ones, so Italy, France, Spain, I think even Portugal, Germany, they have their own version. So it's, I mean, and they all play the same. I can get it on other systems where if you do not get the, let's say, local version, probably the game do not plays in Italian, and I get it. But now, I mean, I got games from all over the world, and the smaller ones, at least, they all play in Italian. I got the limited run games that goes in Italian. I got the Ghost Runner that is on PS4 is a Chinese exclusive, Asian and Japanese exclusive, and it's fully in Italian. So what's the point? You don't even have a manual anymore. So you're just paying for a couple of writings on the back.
Yeah, that's all it is. Strangely enough, I've opened up my collecting to a lot of PAL. Yeah, I noticed you PAL guys get a lot of fucking games we don't, and it's
Cool
quite
games.
it's quite frankly upset. No, I wouldn't say that. Just calm your ass down there. But I just recently, what was it? I got a game off of Amazon. It was JoJo's Eyes of Heaven. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Eyes of Heaven, and yeah, it wasn't available. There wasn't an NTSC version, which kind of blew my mind because JoJo is such a big franchise. But yeah, I went. It was the price was right. It was on Amazon, and I can trust those guys. But yeah, I'm with PS4 collecting. I'm broadening my horizons to PAL a lot more. I wish I didn't have to, but yeah, there we go. No offense, guys.
You guys have a history with JoJo because also on PS3 it was a shit show. only available through Amazon, probably limited print run or something like that. So they just hate you.
I'm looking. I want to get the PS4 what's it called? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
So yeah, remaster or something, remake or something like that. Yeah. Is it on PS4? Isn't it? Isn't it PS5 exclusive? No.
No, it's on both.
On PS4. Oh, okay.
Yeah, what the hell is it called?
Can't remember, to be honest.
Eyes in Heaven or something?
No. That's the one I just got. The PS3 one. They just reprinted.
The porting, the remake of the PS1, the PS3 one. So it's like, yeah.
Why can't I remember the name of that game? PS3.
All-Star Adventure, right?
Yes, All-Star Adventure, All-Star Battle, or something bullshit like that. Yeah, this one's called All-Star Battle R. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that one because I never found the.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah, All-Star Battle R. Yes.
That one. We know what we're talking about.
Take on collecting different regions and stuff, because I never used to care about what region I collected as long as it was an English version. But the one thing I didn't like about Italian games was kids' games used to have the name of the title in Italian on the spine, and that used to annoy me.
I remember getting you a couple of those, like Monsters vs. Aliens and some other. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up selling them.
That's the only. Yeah, that's the only thing I bothered to. Yeah, If a game has a translated title, I don't want it. If a game has just a different language on the back, okay, that it doesn't bother me. But if it's a different language on the spine, yes, yeah, that bothers me
Is
too.
that only with titles? Is that only
Sorry?
happen with kids titles?
No, for sure. There's also the Godfather. I know that
Oh, yeah.
in every country has a different name, and also on PS4 the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War.
I've
The
noticed in
Italian
Germany,
translated title, yeah.
Spain as well. You're right.
Yeah, the
Uh,
Godfather.
the-
I'd say that maybe that's because of the movie, because I'm sure they named the movie something different. And is it called
yeah.
Il Padrino in
Yes,
Italy?
yes, it is. Yeah.
Look at me, I'm fucking I know Italian and shit. Fuck you guys.
I gave you 10 out of 10. Bellissimo.
I love it.
Gee,
I love
really.
Just a little trivia. Nobody does that in Italy.
No. You just that's you all do. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to once again excuse myself because I have opened the seal. So talk amongst yourselves as we're back.
Something that really plagues me every time I say that I'm Italian and people start doing
I think
this
that's
kind
more
of
of like
thing.
a Italian
Yeah.
American thing or Italian Australian thing. Like all the Italians I know in Australia talk like this. So
Yeah, I know. I mean, we do this from time to time, but it's just a non-verbal way to say the fuck you're saying, more or less.
yeah,
So if you
I
do
do it
something like
myself
this,
too, though. But I don't know.
so-
I'm just I don't mean to, but like I do it. I where are we? Yeah, I wanted to touch on our trades, Nicolo, because they were quite interesting back in the day. And in particular, what you were mentioning with shipping. I remember, I think you sent me 10 games once, and we had to like split the package into 3 or 4 different packages, and that was the cheapest way to do it. It was interesting,
yeah,
but
I
we got
remember.
everything in the end.
I remember getting assaulted by anyone in the group because I came out as being the only Italian guy in there. And so, can you get me this? Can you get me that? And I had to start, you know, start doing international shipping. That is something that I've never done before, and start doing weird shit like the one you mentioned. With many, like we also did something like 8 games in 4 cases where I just
Oh
put
yeah, yeah.
2 discs in the same game and in the same case with all this stuff because again shipping from Italy is super expensive. At the time I didn't know or there wasn't even many, let's say, secondary services. Now at least for European shippings I can get a little bit cheaper, a little bit quicker to couriers because there are some websites that just the ones that you put the price, you put the weight, you put the dimension of the package, and they just try to find you the best price out of all the couriers. And at the time, I couldn't do that. I think I still can't do that if I had to ship something to you. But yeah, it's
It comes with
crazy.
experience.
It was a big crazy time because I remember shipping and getting games from all over the world. I have stuff from India, Brazil, US, Australia, everything. Yeah, it was super crazy. And I was even scared at the time because I don't know, I'm always I'm always thinking about being scammed because it's super common here that people try to scam you for everything. So it was super strange for me to get people that it was complete trust on someone that you never met, you never, or you just met, and now it's normal. That's what's beautiful about this community is that there's a complete trust, and I think we can just think about a couple of people who tried to scam or scammed someone else. I remember
That's going to
Raul
be in
that
every community.
just making a trade with Raul, the Indian guy that we all know by today, but at the time he was a new guy like me, and I was like, "Can you get me a couple of copies of RA wine?" It was like, "Oh, okay, but do you want to pay or do you want to trade?" Okay, I can trade what you want, and I got him like Champion Jockey and Battle versus Chess, I think,
Yeah.
and we just trade. Nobody knew if the other one was really shipping something because I mean both of us could have just scammed the other, but out of complete trust we just trade and we became friends. And I remember also when he had to sell most of his collection, he just sent me the package and I said, okay, when he comes you can pay.
And that's
And
the
same
best part
did,
about the community.
and
Is
actually same did
at the time.
the guy that got me the Arab drift cars because he couldn't be paid with PayPal, so he had to be paid with something else. And he saw that I wasn't just you know I was little bit worried, so he said, "Okay, I'm just sending you the game. When you receive that, you can pay me." That's
That's
the
awesome.
stuff.
And then vouching for people's like so important and different things like that. I just touch on Stefan's comment because he was saying, "Hello, Nicolo. Thanks for all the trades and the help when Rahul's package." Because Stefan did a deal with Rahul, and India wasn't allowed to ship to Malta, so Nicolo stepped in and became the middleman. So little things like that. Like he wouldn't have been able to do that trade without you. So it's just really awesome that there's people out there willing to help in the community like that.
Yeah, it's something that for me was unprecedented because I mean I would have never believed something like that if you told me like 6 years ago.
Yeah. Don't ask me. Anybody out there, don't ask me to be the middleman. Hit up James Johnson. I hate that shit. It's not. It's a
Guys,
bother.
I've got a new segment for the podcast. It's called Guess That Game. So
Oh.
I've got a game. I know what it is. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. I'm going to say one little hint about the game. First person to guess the game right wins. So you guys both
Okay.
ready to play?
All right. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So the first game is a PS3 game. I am a board game. So it's also a board game.
Monopoly. Did I win?
All right, you got it.
That was a little too easy.
I was waiting for the second.
Like
For the second.
All right, let's get into the second one. So it's also a PS3 game. I am based off a TV character.
Doctor Who?
No.
Okay.
TV character? All right. Well, Figsy, is this PAL? Is it NTSC? Is it both?
You want another hint?
Next question.
Okay. Mainly by little girls and trophy collectors.
Anna Montana.
Correct.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say.
I've played that shit too.
I still play Monopoly to this day. I mean, digitally, but is any more? I'm liking this.
We just did two. I'll get some more for the next one, but we got 1-1 for Will, 1 for Nicolo. So that was fun, guys.
And on the same vein, we have another segment here where it was like, Figsy, name that game. And in honor of Nico's visit, hold on, where we pull this up? Branding, and there we go. Figsy, I would like you to name this game.
Oh no. Aceto Corsa Competition.
I'm gonna try this because I don't. Is it Aceto Corsa? Is that one word or is that two words, Nico?
2 words.
2 words. Aceto Corsa Competizione. Huh? No? Yes.
You just kind of got that.
Oh,
because it's Assetto Corsa Competizione.
Competizione. I'm doing my best Roberto Benigni imitation. The official
You got really close. So
GT World
you
Challenge game.
You did really good.
I gotta get a bell here so we can ring it when someone gets something right. But yeah, there we go. There I said, say it one more time, please, for those in the back. Nico.
Assetto Corsa competizione.
Competizione. Assetto Corsa. What is Assetto Corsa? Is that a brand?
No, it's it's the name of the game. It's just about a random title, I would say. I'm not really into racing, the racing scene, but I think that's just a random title.
Well, last name Rossi, and you're not into racing?
I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm not. I'm also one of the few Italian that couldn't care less about football. So just a weird guy.
At the moment, there's probably a few of them, to be honest.
So I'm still a weird guy, and
oddly enough, this week's show, our homework was assigned to us by this is Nico's idea. The homework. We're supposed to. What was the plan, Figsy? Refresh my memory. We're supposed to bring on a game. A game. We wanted to see the difference between games in our three of our countries. Like,
yeah, so the regional differences between the same game in, say, America, Australia, and Italy, because there are some unique differences between the games.
All right, I gotta set this blur so you guys can see exactly what I'm holding up here. Unfortunately, we didn't coordinate very well, so we only have one game between the three of us. That's from the that is different. So, what is
we all have a very peculiar collections, very different tastes.
It mostly my fault because I got the smallest collection here, and these guys had to fucking cater to me. But let me bring out I'm gonna bring out the American version of my game, and this game is a little called Amore. You guys ever heard of this thing, Amore? No, anybody?
First time I've ever seen that one.
I think I found your Italian equivalent on a social media, Italian social media of only gaming, and his name is Play Omori Remake. And he's still posting shit about Omar on everything he finds. It's like play Omar.
Oh shit! Oh, I gotta look this guy up. Shit, it sounds like a guy after my own heart. But no, seriously, I brought that's some more. Do you know this? Is Dean Martin big over there? Anyway, so I brought my copy of what is this? Folklore. Do you guys have the same cover in Europe?
No, it's different. That's why we picked it.
We need someone from Asia because they have a different cover.
I've got the Asian version, so I'll grab it.
Yeah,
here you go.
Grab the Asian one. That's more interesting.
I don't know. Hold on. Let me look at yours. It's a little better, and you got that weird sticker on it.
As always, because in Italy we always have this little fucker on the cover, and the placement is always kind of random. So they tried to put that in the worst possible spot. This is not that bad, but most of the time they say, okay, if we had the same cover, they probably just stick that on the face of the girl. 100%. 100%.
What does the back look like?
Excellent.
No, the backs are freaking different too.
So
ready for a blowout? This is the Asian cover. Look at that.
I do not like that one. It looks
it's looking really bad. It's a mismatch of things.
It looks like kabuki to me.
Top corner.
It looks like a kabuki.
Yeah, that guy has no clue what's going on, for sure.
No, but even our copies, Nicolo, are different with the placings of the symbols down the bottom. Like the Australian rating literally takes up the entire bottom row. Like it's pretty ridiculous.
I've seen worse. That made me realize something. Wait.
That's almost as obtrusive as the Germans. Shit, the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a bunch of focus games like the Surge 2 with the limited edition stuff. They used to do this kind of nightmare with the covers. Look at that.
Yeah.
This is a nightmare. This is a fucking nightmare.
And that's actually one of the biggest reasons why I want NTSC games. No other reason than that. Oh my god, my little one. Yeah. Yeah. Gwen, hold on. Gwen. She's a dick. Anyway. I love her though. But no, what I was saying is one of the biggest reasons why I go for NTSC games alone is just the age restriction badge. It's getting out of hand. I mean, the solid black one with the white background. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back.
You're right. But interesting on what you were saying, Nikolai. So I believe all collector's editions are like that, where they have the multiple ratings on the front.
No, I think only those from Focus Interactive. So I can think of the Search Through and Gridful. I'm sure they have those weird ratings.
I've definitely seen it with a lot of collector's editions.
But I'm not sure about any other collector's edition because I'm not really interested in them. So I just got
there's too many.
it's too many and too big. Just constantly running out of space. So it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. I mean, I got that one for I think €1 in one of those famous GameStop sales, random sales. So it's okay, but for the other ones,
On the topic of
my
big items, though, I can't help notice that big A to the left of you. I know you sent me a photo of it, and I'd love to bring this one up. So tell us about this. What's this pack?
Oh man,
this is one of my favorite collections ever, and also some of my favorite games on PS4. And this is the Annapurna Ultimate Collection, I think, or no, yeah, Ultimate Collection, because there's also a deluxe collection that is the same but with only the CDs, some random thing. And there are 8 indies, beautiful indies, I would say. I'm yet to play just one, Outer Wilds, but they're just beautiful indies published by Annapurna. And there's one that I really suggest to anyone because I think it is one of the best games I've played, period. And it's Kentucky Route Zero. It's just beautiful. And I've got that because I'm really into indies. It's one of my the main thing that I play on PS4 because I'm getting kind of bored of AAA titles. I mean, I really love them, but most of the time I just find them more and more, I don't know, bland, standard, let's say, while indies are more interesting to me, more appealing. And I remember not wanting to get them outright out of the bat because it was pretty expensive. I think it retailed for $180, and I was like, okay, I'll just wait for a price drop. And it was GameStop, US GameStop exclusive, as far as I remember, and it went sold out really quickly. There were some copies on PlayAsia for €200 plus shipping, so it was like 250 shipped. Some crazy. It went out of stock on that too. And I don't know how find a French retailer on eBay that had it on sale for retail price, not even €180, but 100 and something. And I just got it because okay, fuck it, I'm gonna make me a present, and I'm really glad I did because I've played all of them and just beautiful games. And that shit now retails for like 300 plus, I think.
And you opened that thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I've played all of them because
man,
that's I got that not just for showing, but because I really wanted the game. I really wanted to play now. I'm one of those guys that usually opens all his games, just a couple, say say seal. I remember on PS3, the only thing like I'm keeping seal are Pixel Junk 3 in 1 pack, the one that we all got for like.
It's actually really fun. One of the games on there.
Yeah, but I think I have at least a couple on PS3 digitally because I think they went free on PS Plus at some point.
Monsters title. It's really fun. It's like a mobile tower defense game, but a little bit better than the mobile tower defense games, I would say. I had heaps of fun playing it.
Yeah, I remember. It's a quite fun series, and I think that I don't know, Obut Petanque too. I probably butchered the name because it's a French bowl game. I got the first one and I opened it because it's really stupidly cheap now in Europe, and to see how bad it was, and it was borderline. I couldn't finish the first play. I got the second one that is way more difficult to find, and I kept it sealed. But that's more or less it on PS3. On PS3, on PS4, many games sealed because I'm yet to open and play them. I think that the only one that I keep sealed are the Arab one we saw that we saw it before, the Chinese one that I brought on the video, and probably that's it. I'll open. I also opened my limited run games. So
nice.
Insane. I struggle with this daily, opening up sealed games because I said the other day I went to the shelf, saw oh, maybe I'll try this, and that's how it was sealed. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I'll wait until I find an open copy or hopefully it comes
for
out
me,
digitally.
it really comes down to how expensive it or how sought after it is. Because if it's a game that you can easily get, why keep it sealed? I mean, it probably will be worth something more in the future. But again,
Yeah, I heard that. Well, gentlemen, I am going to bow out early. I got to get this one to bed, and it's just way too late here for her and me. So, Nico, thanks for coming on. Figsy, you guys probably going to continue without me. So, good night to everybody. But it's a little way past my bedtime. So,
thanks for staying up, Will. We really appreciate it.
No worries. I appreciate it. Everybody in the audience. I appreciate you, Nico. I wish I would stick around. I'll catch it on the YouTube. So, good night, everybody.
good night, Will.
Someone in chat just said, opening limited run games. Never heard of that before. Big respect. Yeah, Bulldog. Like I keep my limited run games sealed, but I must admit my first 10 I bought, I opened all of them. I guess I wanted to be on that. If I'm buying it to play, but like you can only play so much stuff. And you get to a point where you're buying sealed games, you've already got sealed games. And like you said, if you're not going to be playing it that day, why are you opening it?
Yeah, I'm yet to open many games on PS4 because I'm yet to play them. But for the vast majority of games, I just get them because I wanted to play them. So if I spent an extra buck to get them on disc, while maybe I can get them for like €2 on the store, because that's the other struggle that I'm more and more surrendering to, because I'm more and more I can't bring myself to spend maybe €20 for a physical game. Maybe it's even decent, but it's maybe a 2-hour game that I can get for €2 on the store, and it's way more and more difficult to bring me to spend those extra cash. That I mean, I have to be really, really sure that it's a game that I'd love to own physically. And I've done it before, to play a game on a digital and then liking it so much that I wanted a physical copy. And the most expensive one was Greece, to be honest. That I've played for like €5 digitally. I loved it so much that I went above and beyond to get it from limited run. I got it during a blowout sale, I think.
Nice.
I spent something.
And they occasionally have some really cool games in limited run, like Salt and Sanctuary was one that I played digitally, and then they brought out one physically. Celeste is another one that was like, okay, they're actually bringing out a game that I really want to play. Scott Pilgrim was another one that, it was a PS3 digital game. I always wanted to own a copy physically. So it's cool, but like in terms of their entire library, it's probably like 5% of the games that I actually want to own.
Yeah, exactly. And the other problem now is that that is holding me back from buying more. One is the conversion ratio between dollar and euro. That it has always been pretty expensive for European guys to buy limited run stuff, because at the end, when the game in hand are like at least 40 euro per game, it's not cheap. At least for, again, smaller titles. So for me, it was just specific titles that I really wanted. I don't have that many limited run stuff. I have like DR Esther, Yuri's Narita Boy, and something like that. And but at this point, many of the stuff published by limited run also comes to Europe in a retail form. One is being Omori. I got Omori from Fine Gamer. Okay, really wanted that. I got that and Undertale. And after a week, a single fucking week after I got that, okay, we will also publish Omori retail in Europe.
It doesn't actually come out till next year, so you'll be waiting a long time.
Yeah, okay, but still, and same for Blasphemous. I mean, it was one of the most expensive limited run games, and it cost 30 euro retail price in Europe. So it's always more and more difficult to get games to justify the expense of a limited run game. I went really close to spend like something like 200 euros last month on limited run between Carrion, what was that, and a couple of others like The Lonely Frankenstein Creature or something like that. I can't really remember the title now, but it was too much, and I couldn't bring myself to spend all those money.
I personally think limited run charge more than other game companies. Like those
Absolutely.
two recent PS3 releases cost me $105, and then I ordered one game, a Shantae game on PS5, and it was $91.
Exactly.
Like,
but if you think about it, when they start, because I've discovered them actually after I think 3 or 4 of them of their releases. I remember watching a video of someone saying, okay, there's this company selling these games, and they had like Saturday Morning RPG and a couple of others, and they used to charge like $20 a piece. Now it's the cheapest one. It's 30, and most of them are even $35 or $40 for
some
a
of them are
single
60,
unity.
which is
Some
ridiculous.
are even 60, and that's crazy. I mean, I don't know how much it is a price shipped for a US guy. It probably is really cheap. I mean, maybe it's $5 shipping and anything, but for a European, no, it's prohibitive.
Have you seen the new thing where they add shipping insurance for an extra $1, and if you don't click to remove it, you've got to pay that extra $1? They're just like making stuff up now, basically. Like,
No, they're just copying GameStop with the protection, with the insurance.
scratch
Majority
protection on your Blu-ray.
Exactly. It's like the Mr. Bean meme where they just try to copy from the guy next to him.
So moving forward with the future, Nicolo, what are your collection goals for the future? Have you got any? Are there any certain games out there that you've got on a list that you'd love to collect?
To be honest, I own, at least for PS3, I own nearly everything I want. So there are just a couple of titles, maybe the more expensive one, the Chinese English ones, but I'd probably never get that. On PS4, at the moment I have mostly anything I want. So if I really want to add something, it's something common, because one thing that I always done is trying to get the weird one, the uncommon one first, and then the common ones after. So I have to get up with some commons, but something really easy. At the moment, the only one I really wanted are mostly on their way. So pretty happy with that. I've never aimed at any kind of full set or subset, because I think that it is not my thing. I don't want to have things that I don't like. I also have a couple like 20 probably JRPGs on PS3. I still have them, and it's a genre that I just can't stand. It's not my thing. I've sold any JRPGs I had on PS4 that I collected because maybe I found them cheap, or anything I've sold or trade every single one of them. So my goal is maybe even to shrink down to something.
But they're not sport games, so you can turn around and sell these for a decent price or trade them for other
Yes,
games.
that's the only thing that is keeping me from selling at least the PS3 ones, because I'm seeing them go for more and more by the day. So I'm saying, okay, they've been there for ages, so they can stay there for another couple of years and then maximize the profit.
You do make some good points though, because I have got a full set, but if I could go back 10 years, I wouldn't collect a full set, because there's, like, out of the 1,000+ PS3 games I've got, there's 500 crap games on the wall, like sport games, shovelware titles that I'm not interested in. And now that the set's full, I can't just go and sell one, because if I sell one, you break up the set. So it's like that catch-22. Like, I'm trying to collect.
You gotta sell a really big bunch of standalone games
Yeah,
if you want to
exactly.
sell something. Yeah.
I've considered it. It might happen one day, but I'm slowly selling other things first before we get to that point. But, like, I try and collect differently for other systems with that knowledge in mind. Especially if you like the PS4, I try and avoid games that I'm not interested in unless they are dirt cheap.
Exactly the same. But also when they're dirty cheap, I try to make a decision, say, okay, it's dirty cheap, but is it worth it to just? I mean, again, I'm constantly running out of space, so I also have to consider that. I mean, I had a bunch of cheap games that I ended up trading or selling even for the same amount I've paid, just to get rid of them.
No, that's fair. What about like collector's editions and consoles and things like that? Do you collect anything like that?
I just have what was that? The Little Nightmare one, because again, I'm constantly running out of space, and I can't just buy them because I don't know where to put them, and most of the time I just can't even bring me to spend the extra cash for the extra content, because I can't I can't bother having statues and things. I'm not really interested in them. The only ones I've seriously thought about getting are the Fallout ones, because I love Fallout.
Yep.
And the latest collector's edition with the Pip Boy, the helmet and everything were pretty sweet. But again, I said, okay, it's a thing that I just happy to own, to put on a shelf, and that's it. So I've always passed.
I would recommend the PS3 Fallout Collector's Editions. They're lunch boxes, and they're a lot smaller than the PS4 ones.
That's the one I really thought about getting, but it's getting stupidly expensive lately. So then I did not have the money to get them, and now it's too expensive. That's also probably one of the thing that really changed during the years. It's one thing trying to get all the collectible games, and also trying to get for quantity over quality, probably, at least from a collecting point of view, because I'd rather have 5, 20, 50 games more on my shelf rather than just a really stupidly expensive one.
Yeah, I
and
get
it's
that.
more or less what and it's more or less what I'm doing right now. But I'm also still trying to get what I think will be stupidly expensive in the future now.
Yeah.
Like the Chinese ones and everything. Okay, I'm willing to spend an extra buck on them just to own them now that they're kind of cheap, and even though
I think you've done well in that. I'll bring up one that's actually going for hundreds of dollars today that I know you've got, and that's Gene Rain.
Yes,
how much did you pay for this?
I don't know if it was our video or whatever. I remember that it was something that you can't really find anywhere, at least on eBay. The guy that brought it up, it was Jason Effield, I think, the guy that also is on our groups, and their 2 copies were the only one on eBay for ages, and they sold for $100 or something like that. I actually got this thanks to Niels. Thanks again, Niels, for sending me your second copy. And after our video, I don't know why, there were 3 copies on eBay. One for 380 euros that sold almost instantly,
Oh my god.
and 2 for 2K, and one sold for 2.5K. But I really think that's a fake listing, because I just can't believe that. If it's so, I'm an
absolutely
humble
insane
guy.
to see that.
If it's so, I'm an humble guy, and I will more than happily to sell mine for 1.5K, because I'm an humble guy.
Someone's just commented on your controllers, and I thought I'd bring this photo up because I think it's awesome. So you made this yourself, this display?
Yes, this is actually all what you see behind me is my girlfriend's idea, because she designed that. This was one of our ideas, to just take the this this is DUI whatever thing I got for like 10 euros, and it's made to get the hammers and everything. And luckily, what's inside the hooks inside the package just fit perfectly for controllers. And
It looks fantastic. Like it really does,
thank you.
especially with the Move controller. It just makes it.
Yes, thank you. I was pretty lucky with that too, and it was like 10 euros for both panels, so super cheap too. That all this behind, we made that ourselves, so all the construction was on 150 euros total for all the materials and everything.
Do you have a TV in the middle usually?
Yep,
Okay, yeah.
just moved the chair and everything else. So
Joe said he's stealing that idea,
yeah,
so you'll see it around soon.
be my guest. Happy to see that it likes.
Chase Hill says it looks like a gun rack. It really does.
Yeah, that was the idea, to be honest.
Well, Nicola, it's been
And
amazing having you on the show, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
thanks.
It's been good
Thank
to
you
talk
for
about your
having me.
collection, the games that you've had, and Will touched on the fact that you have an Instagram. What's your Instagram so people can go check out?
I only have my personal Instagram, but it's
Okay. So I'm like, I don't
Gin
think he's
tonic,
gonna
yeah.
get an Instagram. So maybe in the future, you'll get into some social media stuff, and I can link it below.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
Thanks for
definitely get
having
you
me.
back on the channel too. If you guys haven't seen, Nicolo was part of the last rare and collectible PS4 games episode on the channel, so be sure to go check that episode out because that was awesome.
And I'll probably guest it also in the future, because I need to bring more crap that
Yeah,
is sitting
definitely. I'd
behind
love
me.
to have you back on the podcast. Well,
I have
Nicolo, I
more
hope you
games
enjoy the rest of your day, man.
to get more
Thanks for
prize.
coming on, and we'll see
Thank
you
you.
around.
Bye.